Welcome back to the channel. Today we're in the Langdale Valley and we're going up 2 Wainwrights, so Pike, Blisco and then Crinkle Crags, which is where I am now. Right, let's check it out on the map.
This walk in the Langdale Valley starts at the Old Dungeon Ghyll. We head off and take the zigzag path from the campsite to meet the road at the top, then cross over for our steady and sometimes testing ascent on our way up to Pike, Blisco. Near the top there are some short scrambles as grass gives way to rockier terrain. Upon reaching the summit and claiming our first Wainwright, we head down to Red Tarn and then we begin our second descent to Crinkle Crags South top. This path is quite obvious and gives us a steady up. After South top, we reach Long top, which is the highest point on Crinkle Crags. The Crinkles give us a rollercoaster ride as we work our way over to the 3 tarns, and upon reaching them, we head down the band and back to the Old Dungeon Ghyll. This walk has testing sections and excellent views all day.
Start off down the track and we'll head on the road for a little bit, round here, and then we'll start to go by the side of the wood. It's getting to spring now, so things looking up around the lakes. At Steel End Farm, we're going to come around the tops and then back down the band, which is just here. But for us, we'll take this road walk up to the campsite. But for now, as we walk down here, we have of course got the view back to the rest of the Langdale Valley. So an amazing view over to Pavey Ark. We're just passing the campsite in the valley, so if you're in a tent or a camper van, you can just stop there. This path we're on, nice and stable. You can see the tops now, so you've got Bowfell here, and then we've got the Crinkle Crags. We're going up Pike, Blisco, so that is ahead of us. Okay, so we're going to get onto the other side of the road, and then we'll start to work our way up. So we've snaked our way up the hill, which I'll show you on the drone, and then we'll come into the road just here. Once we get to the road, we'll cross over to the other side, and then we're heading our way up. This is the look back, just so you can see it. So this is the road, and you can actually park a little bit further down near the farm if you can't get any other car parks, but that is free down there. So we're going to go through here onto the other side of the road and then work our way up. We can either go up this way or around the side. So there we go. Right, half a mile back to the campsite, but that's on the road. Right, after our initial squelch, probably hear it under my feet, we are onto this. It's quite a steep up, but got the valley at the side there, and then where the cars are, there's the road. It's worth saying this is not exactly a path, but it's a grassy bank, so gotta make sure you're on track. That's my map as I'm heading up. So I'm slightly off track here, so looks like you head across and up there. We'll come from the pub down here, work up through the wood, and then come up along here to the road, and then we'll basically go into this side of the ridge, so just stay on the inside track. So it drops down here, and this is faint, so it's well worth looking on the app for it. Often when I'm around here, what I do is go from Old Dungeon Ghyll, walk past the farm, and then take the road up to a little wood down there. So that's also a route you can do. That's what I did last time, so if you remember of the channel, you'll find that in the members section. But for now, I'm taking this higher path. This is us working our way forward. You can just see in the distance a bit of waterfall action, which is always good. And then also down there near Stake Pass. As we're looking back as well, you can see down here, past the Old Dungeon Ghyll, that is part of the Cumbria Way, and it goes over the top there. So that is a great run. It's all the way through the Lake District and other parts of Cumbria. So me and Alison did that There's a 5-day challenge, and it's something like 15 miles a day. Day 2, which is this bit, is about 10 miles. It's the shortest one. So if you've done that or you're thinking of doing it, just let me know in the comments and I'll drop a link in to the video if you want to start watching it. Just hear the rush of water at the side. So we're heading our way across this flat and then up to Pike and Blisco. Nice and peaceful on this one today. Very few people about. When I was in the Old Dungeon Ghyll car park, that was just about full. And there's the new Dungeon Ghyll about half a mile away if you can't get in that one. So they're both National Trust car parks. So if you remember, that's free. And if you want to park all day otherwise, it's £9.50, and obviously it scales down with time. But I am a member of that, so free parking. Right, looks like things are clearing over towards the tops. So bow fell there. Just got a little bit of clag on it. But look at that, boom! Light appearing in the valley. This is our path as we go along. So as you can see, a bit more obvious now. Just that earlier stage where you can't really see it. We're at 310 metres. We're just on our way up to just a shade over 700. Let's look back on the valley and you can just see, as you look across, that is Jack's Rakes, that's Pavey Arc just in the distance there. So been up that, around the top of it, and then over to Sergeant Man, and also been across Jack's Rake. But look at that, a bit of sun coming out, starting to light up the fells. Jack's Rake is my most popular video in the last 28 days because I can see my stats for YouTube. And that is a specialist one, so if you are thinking of doing that, then you want to have a look at that video, please do, because preparation is the key for that. And what I've tried to show, like I do on all the routes, is what it's actually like. So when you're doing it, you've got a bit more information and you can prepare yourself for it. So if you are finding them useful, just let me know in the comments. We're a little further up now. You'll see a lookout sheep there in the distance. It's a little bit squelchy as you come across, but only to be expected because we are in still winter conditions. But if you have done this, just let me know what it was like when you did it. Little sheepies. No lambs with those yet. You can just see it working its way. Little trod marks, but we can work it out. Slightly flat a bit now, so working our way across, getting a bit of a breather. Not quite done half the up yet. The inn is at 100 metres, so this is only about 350 around that area, so still quite a way to go. So we'll work our way forward and then you can just see the path in distance there as it goes up. A couple of sheep just chilling out at the top, and why wouldn't you? Staring down Langdale Valley. That is incredible. As you can see, the fells as they work the way over. And way over in the distance, you can see Helvellyn and Fairfield. So that is spectacular. Fairfield Horseshoe Run. If you want to see anything around that area, then just check out my Eastern Fells folder, because I've pretty much got everything in there, I think, from that area. And I'm just collecting this one today as another one to add in. Although I've been up here a few times, I've not actually captured it on video, or one that I'm happy with anyway. So this is sort of a redo of an old video. So we're going to go up there and then we'll be able to see more of the valley. One of the reasons I took this higher path today rather than the one near the woods was so that I get the views down the valley as I came across. Apart from these sheep, that is what you get. So what a look back. And there's the Old Dungeon Ghyll just down here. So we'll work our way up and round and then down the band after Crinkle Crags and then to the pub. When I was doing the Cumbria Way, we stopped at the new Dungeon Ghyll because the Old Dungeon Ghyll was already full, as in overnight, and it is fed by the Tarn a bit further up. Hello ladies. So if you've load of sheep there. So if you are staying there, your bath water will be a bit brown, and that's because, I say, it's fed by the Tarn. What a look back though. Definitely worth coming out today. It's a little flatter now as we get to Rhino's Fell. Not rhinos as in like, you know, pointy nose rhino. Rye as in like whiskey and rye, I suppose. So we're just heading our way up, and now it all becomes a bit more clear what we're doing today. So up across the tops and then back down the band. You'll know when you're on Rhino's Fell because it gets flatter at that point. Then Pike of Blisco is quite clear in front of you. So for a while back there, you're kind of on the edge of the fell, working your way up, can't see much except the view across the valley. But once you get up to this bit, you can see straight across. I did see some people down at the road, but actually on the fell, I've seen no one so far. So it's a quiet one today. And the phone signal around here is what you might call intermittent, to say the least. So I've got my radio in my bag just in case, and that's got at least 5k distance on it. So if anything happens, I can definitely call on that. But I'm sending the odd update when I get a signal just to say whereabouts I am. So if you're doing solo walking, always worth checking in with somebody so they know where you are, or where you should be anyway. Getting a little squelchy underfoot. So we're going to head over the little beck at the side here, and then we'll get our way onto Pike of Blisco. So that's where we're headed, and we can now see what the job is for the day. It's about 18 degrees today, so absolutely fantastic day. I knew it was going to be like this today, so I thought why not come out, and what a joy it is. So really quiet and a really fantastic walk. Near the squelchiness under my boots, can't you? Whoop. This path's pretty good. You can see it's tracking back there behind me. So keep your boots dry if you're on that, but it is boggy out to the sides. That's what's going forward. Nice big cairn to tell us where we're up to. So try and stay on the stony bits as much as possible. That'll keep us dry. It's a fantastic view out. Look at that. Wow. Well, that is going to be with us the whole day because we're sticking on this side of the valley, and then we can eventually come down the middle here. So while it's not, well, you can call it a scramble. I can put my hand down, so it's officially a scramble. But there's little bits where you have to pull yourself up. Wow. Definitely getting near the top now. I can hear fighter jets somewhere in the distance, but they're probably going to be over that side. Can't tell where they are. Saw four the other week going round, but I never see them in pairs really, so that was quite a treat. So you got this real slabby stuff as you go up, and that is one thing you can find around this area. And just over on Bow Fell, if you nip off here on the climbers traverse, then the Great Slab is just on that side, and that's a route I'll do soon when I do my last Wainwright, which is Great End. So if you want to see that in the meantime, I'll put a link in for you so you can see it. But what a run around that is, and because it's so steep on the side, because it's really obviously a climber's path to get to the cliffs, it's really exposed, so you get amazing views out if you're happy with the exposure. That's 600 metres. You get these massive boulders starting to appear. So we're going to work our way up and round and onto the top. Now at this point, you can go round to avoid what I'm going to do now, but I'm going to take this little climb because I just fancy it for a change. So I'll have a scramble and take this. But yeah, you can go around that way to avoid it if you want to. Right. I'll video it a little bit going up, but that means it's one-handed. I've got to be super careful. Right. Some nice flat bits there. Make sure you've got a solid pull up before doing anything. There we go. Next one. Grab on that. And then we're up. Right, so a couple of pulls up. And we're back on the path. How graceful was that? This is obviously the path though that you're meant to take because it's really stable. Just checking these cairns as we're going up. Will keep us on track and we need it. Keeping it up and we're nearly at the summit. It's the first time this year I've come out in a t-shirt and glad I did really, because that up is pretty brutal. But you can stop as many times as you like obviously. Look back, admire the valley. There's lots to see there and I certainly have done that. So a bit further up and then we'll summit our first Wainwright of the day. As we continue to go forward, we have got a scramble. You can see the cairns in the distance again, and that's just to tell you this is the right way. You probably could go, well you can actually go round that way if you want to, but as I say, fancy the scrambles, adds a bit of interest. If you're not used to doing scrambles, then on routes like this where there's some quite small ones, it's worth just getting used to it, because you know, once you get confident with them, they are able to open up a lot more routes to you and give you a bit of variety on the walk. So I'll say, done this a couple of times, so I know it has these scrambles, but they're only small. Done again. Get up this little bit and we are near the top now. Wow. Just heading around, and Windermere's just over here for direction, because there was another scramble I could have took, but I know some people aren't that keen, so I'll show you this bit as well. Just work our way around here, see where the path comes in, and we're up. As we come over here, we get these over to Weatherlam and to the Scarfell range just up there, Swellhow. And what I'd say is, as you do more fells, then you can piece them together a bit better, and that makes the views more meaningful. So I would really recommend going through and doing the Wainwrights. And if you are doing that, just let me know how you're getting on. We'll go up this, although it's not the top. The top is just in the distance over there. Here we go then. Wow, that's us. So this is Weatherlam, and then you've got Black Sails, Swale How, head our way over to the summit. Wow, I'll get in there. Why not? Hey. Right, that is our rocky summit then. Let's get it. Pike of Blisco with a cracking view over the Langdale Valley. Boom. Superb. As I say, Windermere over here, then Weatherlam, Black Sails to Swale How, and then over towards Dow Crag and the Old Man. Wow. And then what we're going to do is work down to the Tarn and then up here until we get to Crinkle Crags, go across there, then it's down the band. From the summit, work our way down to the Tarn and then up onto Crinkle Crags. There we go. So we're just working our way down this little bit of a bank, and then the Tarn is here. Then you can see the path as we work our way onto Crinkle Crags. Then we'll go over the tops there. Crinkle Crags is a Wainwright, and as we go across that, we'll come across what's known as the Bad Step. And Bad Step is one of those places that if you're coming from this direction, it's actually a climb, but if you're coming from the other direction and not watching your feet and it's not good conditions, you can actually just come a cropper and drop off it. So it's not that high, but I wouldn't want to fall off it. That's the conditions for us. So got a path and it's a little bit bouldery. The sun's really come out now, and if I'd have started first thing this morning, because I started around 11 o'clock, but it would have been not the right conditions. So I would have ended up in all that clag we saw earlier in the video. This is us, and we have got a magnificent view of what we're about to do. This is a conservation path, and if you're familiar with the lakes, then you'll know these, but they are basically paths around the lakes, and they're to keep people on track and stop damage on the fell side. But they're particularly useful when the ground is quite boggy, so you'll be thankful of these. And there are some controversial ones around the lakes that people complain about, and one of them is on sail, which just sort of snakes down. I'll put it on the screen for you so you can see it now, but I always feel like I should be pushing a shopping cart when I go down that one, because it really is a gentle contour as you head down. Having said that, the fell there is super boggy, so it is needed. The name Pike of Blisco, it's Pike just means like sticky up bit, so peak really. But the Blisco bit, no one's really sure, and they think it might just be a local name for the area, which is quite ancient. And in fact, Wainwright makes comments about it in his book, and he says it sounds a bit like, you know, a Buccaneers thing, the O with Pike of Blisco, as in like it's swashbuckling, and it does. So the Blisco bit's a bit of a mystery, but because it's like Pike of Blisco, then you'd be thinking it's the pike of an area. But we know for sure that Crinkle Crags It's named that because it's crinkly on the top and it's a set of crags. Anyway, we shall head over. So it's a down and an up, and this you can see it's a gentle run. It's nothing like the steep initial one we did. And then we're across the tops and be able to work our way down the band. So we've definitely done the main bit of the tricky ascent for today. There we go. Sheeps. Get around here. A few little drops in this as we head down. I'm going to Red Tarn. This is Red Tarn over here. And its names, you'll begin to notice that the rocks are beginning to oxidise. So it must have some iron deposits in them. So presumably the name is because it's red on the base, like the rocks in the area. Okay, just to point this out, there's a couple of people down here and they're just walking back to the pub. So if you don't want to do this full route or you get injured, that is the ditch off route. So you go down there and then that takes you to the farm at the base, and then you just need to head over to the pub. We're coming down and there you go. There's the red rocks near the base. Not exactly the yellow brick road, but more like the red brick road behind me there. So that's us. And again, the tarns to the side. We've got cracking views of the fells over there. And then great views of what we're about to do over here. I've been going up for a while now and still climbing towards Crinkle Crags. What I can hear is a lot of bird song, so a lot of mating and nesting going on as the cycle comes around once again. So that's what we're looking at. So steady path as we head up. This is what got to the side as we're looking down. Absolutely stunning. It's a great walk for the views, this. And if you've done it, just let me know how you did it and how you did these two, or one of them, and who you did it with, because it just gives people more ideas on how they can complete these routes. I say, if you want to do Pike or Blisco as a single, then just go up and then come off where I pointed out that ditch out routes. That'll take you straight back to the pub. Right, so across here, if we can. There we go, sidestep it. So looking back, and this is Pike or Blisco just over here. Wow. Just for reference, in my bag I've got my mid layer on my waterproof, 2 litres of water, a map, compass. So I tend to carry those things. Little first aid kit just in case, and of course my sandwiches. But yeah, if you are going to fill up from the mountain streams, which you can do, there's a few on here, then just take a filter bottle with you, and they are going to save you a bit of weight, because this is around about 5 or 6 hours to go around. So at these points you could fill up. A litre weighs a kilogram, so if you want to save yourself a bit of weight, something you can do. What a rundown that is. Wow. As we get towards Long Top then, this is what we've got. So if you've been up here before, you'll no doubt recognise it. But if you had done this, or Crinkle Crags at least, which way did you do it? Did you come from the Bowfell end, or this end that I'm doing from Pike or Blisco? And if you've done both, which did you prefer? Bit of a scramble as we come up this. There we go. Don't need hands, but it helps. Whew. Oh, my thighs are burning a bit at this point. Going forward, I can see I'm higher than Pike or Blisco already, so a bit more to do, but not much. Trying to stay on the path as much as possible. As we're coming onto the crags, they are craggy, so you've also got these significant drops at the side. So just a little bit of caution if you're on that side. The path's pretty decent though. We'll stick to the tops, but there is some up and down to do as we go along here. Get around this side, give them a little tap as we go past. Wow. It's quite up and down, but yeah, we've got these. Definitely not to be messed with. And we're going to work our way along the tops here, and then we'll get down the band just over there. You do need some hands on this to help you out. A little cluster of ravens going past there. Wow. Because it's a bit cliffy, then you tend to get a few crows on the top. The views forward across this are fantastic, and I've definitely done this on bad weather days, but today lovely to see everything. What a day, and really quiet actually. And we're coming up in a little bit to Bad Step, and that is well, from this end it's a climb, but if you're doing it the other way around it's a climb down or a fall down, depending. So it's just going to be over there. However, I do need to get down this first, so there's a bit of climbing and clambering to do. Whee! Makes it a fun day out. Get down here, then we're at Bad Step. I'll show it you. You don't have to do it though as a climb, you can just go round the edge of it instead. It's up to you, but if you're coming the other way, watch your step. Just going to mention, but if you don't fancy Bad Step at all, obviously you can go around the edge this way, or you can go that way. It's a bit scrabbly, but you can get round and then up to totally avoid it. We hit our next little valley shot down there, so that's it. And then we're at Bad Step, and it's always noticeable because to me it looks like a little cave with a roof on it. If you're coming down, it's a steep area generally. I'll say you can go and avoid it that way if you want to. So when we're in it, that's the sort of cave, bit of a shelter, but this is your little run up. It's only about 15 feet or something, but yeah, it's a climb. So put this away while I do it. This is actually really smooth up the like significant bit, so right, there you go. So it's a couple of strong pulls up, then you're there really. Then you're rewarded with this view. Wow. So Pike of Blisco, then I run round. That's the other Crinkles there. Whew. More Crinkle action to come. So coming down, that's Bad Step there. So if you're not careful, you're off. So we'll head up and get to the Third Crinkle. Walk around this way. That's us. Let's get our view out here. It's like a little battlement. But yeah, what a view. So the pub you can still see down there. Wow, so we'll complete this. This is the Third Crinkle, and then we're round and then down the band. So from that viewpoint, just head up, get to Long Top and the summit. Then we'll find our way over to the Third Crinkle. Wow, what a spot. Look at these rocks here. So yeah, very reminiscent of the Great Slab over on Bowfell, which is actually over there, Bowfell. There we go then. So top along top, And then we are going towards Bowfell in the distance. Third Crinkle's over here, so we'll go to that and come round. So we'll head off from here. This is just heading down, and you can see the edge of things here. That's the Third Crinkle just in front of us. When you get to this point in the walk, you've done the exertion really, because we're just going to bobble along these for a bit, and then we're down the band. But the actual physical getting up, it's done. I'm going to pop up here for Crinkle completeness. Just give you the view off it, seeing as it's so steep. Well, you don't need to tap out on all these really, but just for fun. That's the highest thing. So let's have a look. Wow, what a view we've got down. Absolutely stunning. Whew. Continue on forward. Hey. And on this one, we just carry on down there. Here's our next little top. I'll snag that. So we'll go down, up a little bit, and work our way over to Three Tarns. Three Tarns is a pretty obvious spot in the walk, so it's 3 small tarns, and that'll indicate the start of the band to go down. So very notable, can't be missed. Natural feature that is on the maps has that, so there's always those 3 small bodies of water. There we go. There's our next one. Again, great view out. What a view. That pub's becoming more enticing. This one's definitely a steep down, but there's our cairn to tell us one track, and the other one's down here. So head towards those. Yeah, you can just see the path sort of made out, but it's really bouldery. Just head for the cairn. So we are nearly there. It's a bit of a test of this. It's going to take some time to do. I factored in around 6.5 hours for this. So I'll be able to finish this. It's still winter, so there'll be an hour of light left after completed. But I always leave that bit of a margin, just in case we'll try to anyway. Doesn't always work out. Wow, so as we're coming up here, let's get a look back, and that's what will come down. So that is rocky. Whoa, bogfest. We'll stay high. Worth mentioning, there are 3 tarns down here because it is a bit boggy in that section. So I have decided to stay high, stay on this side. But as we go forward, Bowfell's here, and the foot of that at this end is the start of the band. What we're going to do is we'll head down here, around there. This bit sticking out, we're going to walk around it. You can just see the tarns there in the distance. It's been a sunny day, nice and bright, good to get out, and who's going to argue with that? So if you want one with views all the way around, then this is a good one. There we go. Cairns tells me I'm doing the right thing. I think my first journey up here would have been about 1985 or something like that. So quite a long time ago. If you come into the Lake District, Crinkle Crags is definitely one that's a must do. It's one of those that standout fells, and it is on the short list of Wainwright's favourite tops. So that is quite the accolade. I think there's about 6 in that list from memory. But yeah, not many. Bowfell is another one. So if you're up here, I would definitely say have a go at Crinkle Crags if you're not. If you have done it, then let me know in the comments what you thought of it. The descent to the tarns is basically stony and grassy. So when you see this crag, you're walking around it really. So we'll hit the 3 tarns and then we'll have a wander down the band, which always makes me think I'll be done in 5 minutes, but it's quite a lengthy walk. So it's the enticement of the pub at the end. I think that probably makes it seem longer for me. Here we are then, fantastic. A little one there, and one over there. So 1, 2, 3. Just over to the side here in the distance, you see a little bit of a dip. So that's Scarfell and Scarfell Pike. Band, it's a conservation path, so very easy to follow on the way down. I often use this one with Alison because the knees are a bit dodgy on the downs, so it gives a gentle down for her. So this is our surface as we come down. Thanks for watching the video to the end. If you enjoyed it, helps me to click on the like, and equally if you want to see more of these as they come up, then just click on subscribe and you'll see the new ones as they come up on a Sunday. Right, we're going to head down to the pub now, so have a think about what you want and I'll see you in there.